Greetings via Team Grace Tuition Center. In this video, I will be doing a quick revision on variation. I will be going through some questions from exam past papers. So without further ado, let's do it. The first question is saying, it is given that A varies as B and inversely as the square of C, and A equals 9 when B equals 12 and C equals 2. Find A, the value of K, the constant of variation. So to get or to solve or to get anything in this question, we have to generate a formula. So to get the value of K, we have to generate a formula based on what we are given in the question. So what we are going to do is our formula is we are going to say A varies as B, so that means it's direct there, KB, and inversely as the square of C. So the inverse comes down there, so we say C squared down. So this formula here is the formula that we are going to use throughout the question. So to get the value of K, which is the constant of the variation, we'll use these values that we are given here. The 9, the 12, and the C. So we'll substitute in our formula. Where there's A, we put 9. Where there's K, we don't know the value of K, so we just leave it there. Where there's B, we put 12. And where there's C, we'll write our 2 squared there. So to simplify this, what we are going to do is we are going to make this a fraction. Why? Because we have a fraction on the other side there. So this makes our work easier or easy to solve for K. So we have 9 over 1 equals 12K over 4. So to get our value of K, we cross multiply our equation there. So we have 1 times 12K, which is just 12K, is equal to 9 times 4, it gives us 36. So to get the value of K, we divide here by 12, we divide here by 12. So if you do that, this 12 will cancel that 12. Then 12, what are we going to have here? We'll remain with it. K is equal to, how many times does 12 go into 36? It goes there 3 times. So that is the value of K in this situation. Now that we know the value of K, we can go ahead and work out the rest of the question. Question B says, find the value of A when B equals 16 and C equals 4. So we get our formula there. It says A equals, instead of us writing K, where there's K, we'll put 3 because we know that our K is what? 3. So saying 3B over C squared. So we substitute there. To find the value of A, we write 3. Where there's B, we put the value of B. According to this question, B is what? 16 over. Where there's C, we put 4. So there we're going to have 4 squared. So our value of A will be equal to 3 times 16 over 16. Because 4 to the power 2 is 4 times 4, which is 16. So to make our work easy, instead of us multiplying 3 times 16, we can just cancel out there 16 and 16. That is 1. So now what are we remaining with? We are remaining with A. It's just the same as 3. Okay? We proceed to the next question. The last question, C, says find the values. So be careful here. It says the values. So it means that you are not just going to get one answer, but you have to get at least 2 answers. So find the values of C when B is 25 and A equals 3. So what we do here is just do the same thing that we have done here. We get our formula. A equals 3. We know the value of K is 3b over c squared. We substitute. Since we want to know the values of c, where there's b we'll put 25, and where there's a we'll put 3. So we have 3 equals 3 by 25 over c squared. Since I have a fraction on the right side, I'll do that to make a fraction there, then I can cross multiply. So once I do that, I'm going to have 3 times c squared. I'll have 3c squared equals 3 times 25. So what I do here is now to get the value of c, I'll get rid of this 3 here. I'll also get rid of that 3. I'll divide by 3 both sides. So this 3 here will cancel with that. 3 here will cancel with that. So which means I'm remaining with c squared is equal to 25. So for me to get my value of c, I will square root on both sides. So I'll do a square root there and the square root there. So if I square root both sides, I shouldn't forget to put plus or minus on the other side there. So what the square root will do is the 2 will cancel this root, meaning that I'll just remain with the c is equal to, what is the square root of 25? It's 5. So my answer is plus or minus 5. So those are the 2 answers that are supposed to be the solution to the third question. So the values of c are positive 5 and negative 5. Okay, so this paper here was 2024 internal paper 1. Let's proceed. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is our next question. So the question says, if a varies jointly as b and the square root of c, and a equals 21 when b equals 5 and c equals 36, find the value of a, the constant of the variation. So joint variation is just like direct variation. The only difference is that in joint variation we have more than 2 variables. So our formula for this question is we have a is equal to the constant of the variation. Then there it says jointly as a varies jointly as b, so I'll put b there, and the square root of c, so I'll put the square root of c. So that is the formula. That is the formula we're going to use to work out this question. So direct joint variation is similar to direct variation. You don't have to put anything down there. It just goes in a line like that. So to get the value of k, we'll have to use the 21, the 5, and the 36 in our question there. So where there's a, we put 21. So to get our k, we say a is 21 is equal to k. Where there's b, we put 5, and there we have the square root of c, and c is what? 36. So we put that in brackets. So we proceed. Of course, this is question A. We proceed to get our value of k. So we have 21 equals k times 5. The square root of 36 is 6. 36, the square root of 36 means the number you can multiply by itself to give you 36. So that number is 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So we proceed there. 21 equals 5 times 6 is 30. So we have 30 k there. So I can divide here by 30. I also divide here by 30. So clearly you can see this 30 will cancel that. So meaning that on the other side of the equal sign, I remain with k is equal to, well, 30 cannot go into 21, but there's a number that can go into 30 and 21, and that number is what? 3. So if we divide 3 into 21, we get 7, and 3 into 30, we get 10. So this implies that our k is actually 7 over 10. Okay, yeah, so we proceed to the next question. The next question is saying find the value of a when b is 9 and c is 100. So that's the question B. So what we're going to do is we'll substitute where there's in our formula there we have a is equal to, now we know the value of k, so we are not putting k but we are putting 7 over 10. Then we substitute the b, there we're told it's 9, so I'll put 9. Then we substitute the c, it's 100, so we'll put square root of what? 100 there. So if you observe, what we're going to have now is 9, a is equals to 7 over 10 multiplied by 9 multiplied by, what is the square root of 100? It's 10. So because of that, to make my work easy here, I will cancel out 10 into 10, 1, 10 into 10, 1. So this means that if this 10 divides out with that 10, my value of a is just 7 times what? 9. Meaning a equals, what is 7 times 9? 7 times 9 is 63. So that is my value of b. The last question, question C, is asking us to find the value of c when a is 70 and b is 25. So we get our formula, we write a is equals to 7 over 10. Then we have 7 over 10, where there's b, we put 25. So we have here multiplied by 25, then square root of c. So we can just put the actual value of a here. We are told that a is what? 70. Instead of putting a, let's put a 70 there. Okay, very good. So now to get the value of c here, we'll have to move things a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll multiply through by 10. I'll multiply this whole thing here by 10. If I multiply both sides by 10, it will allow me to cancel out this 10. So I'll kill the fraction. It will be easier for me to handle the question that way. So here on the other side, we have 70 times 10 is equal to this whole thing here times 10, the 10. So we have 7 over 10, 25, square root of c, everything here multiplied by 10. So what is going to happen is this 10 cancel that 10 there. So meaning that I'm remaining with 700 is equal to the 7 times 25. So I'll have here 7 times 25, the square root of c. So to make my work easy, instead of me multiplying 7 times 25, I'll just leave it the way it is. I'll just divide both sides by 7 times 25, even here 7 times 25. You understand later why I've done this. So once I do that, then it means that this here can cancel 7 into 7, 1 there. So now it makes my work easy because now I have 100 on top over 25. So 7 into 700 is just 100 there. Then this thing here will cancel with that. So meaning that now I'm remaining with 700. Okay, let me just change that. So here I'm remaining with 700 over 25 is equal to, since this has cancelled that, the square root of C. How many times does my apologies, this is not supposed to be 700 here, we cancelled it out, so this is supposed to be 100 here, 100, not 700. We cancelled the 7, so 100 over 25. So what we get there is, how many times does 100 go into 25? It's 4. This is equals to the square root of C. So for us to get the value of C, we have to square both sides. So once we do that, we are going to observe that these 2 will cancel with that root. So meaning that we are going to remain with the 4 to the power 2 is 16 equals C. 16 equals C. I think we can do that better. Right, so we're going to have 16 is equal to C, because 4 squared is 16. The square, the power 2 here cancels the square root, so on the other side we just remain with the C. So these were the answers to this question, and this question was 20, if I'm not mistaken, 2023 paper 1 internal. 2023 paper 1 internal. You can go out and check out the question at your own time. Okay, yeah, so this is how we do it. All right, so let's proceed and do the last question in this video. Let's proceed and do the last question in this video. So the last question is 2023 internal. Is it? Let's proceed and do the last question. The last question is 2021. So this one was in 2021. The question reads, given that z varies as x and inversely as the square of y, and that z equals 3 when x equals 8 and y equals 4, find the value of k. So to get the value of k, just like we've done with the other questions, all we have to do here is first generate the formula. So to answer the first question, what we're going to do is we're going to say z is equal to, so it varies as x, so that is direct, so you say kx over, and inversely as the square of y. So what we do there is we say y squared. So to get the value of k, we'll get these 3 values there. Z is 3, x is 8, and y is 4. And substitute in this formula here, then we'll get our value of z. So where there's z, I put 3, so I'll say 3 is equal to, I put k there. Where there's x, I put 8. And where there's y, I put 4. Don't forget to square, because it says it varies inversely as the square of y. So since I have a fraction on this side of the equal sign, I will introduce a fraction on the other so that I can easily cross multiply. So what we have here is k times 8 is 8k. So 1 times 8k is just 80k is equal to, the 4 squared is what? 4 times 4, which is 16. So 3 times 16, I'll write this here, 3 times 16. So to get the value of k, I'll divide here by 8, here by 8. I find it very easy not to multiply these numbers quickly because it makes work a little bit easier. So for example, here I can say 8 divides with the 8, then I'll remain with a k here. Then on the other hand here, 8 into 8, 1. 8 into 16, 2. So in short, what I remain with on top there is k is equals to 3 times 2. So meaning that our value of k is 6. Yeah, that's the value of k. As easy as that. The next question, question B, says find the value of z when x is 18 and y is 3. So z is equal to, where there's k, I put 6. Where there's x, I put 18. There. Over y squared. We're told that y is 3. So I'll put 3 squared down there. So z is equal to 6 times 18 over 3 squared is what? 9. Here I can do my trick there. 9 there, 1. 9 there, 2. So meaning that our z is simply equal to 1 into 2 is just 2. So I have 6 times 2. Meaning that z is equals to 6 times 2 is what? 12. Yeah. There you have it. That is the value of what? Z when x is 18 and y is 3. The last question, but not the least, in this video, we are finding the value of value. So values, be careful here again. It says values, meaning you expect to find more, at least 2 answers. The values of y when x is 30 and z is 5. So in our formula, the formula z is equals to k x over y squared. We know what k is, so we say z is equal to, where there's k we put 6, x over y squared. Where there's z, they're saying we put 5, so we put that 5 is equals to 6. Where there's x, we put our 30 there, like that. Everything over y squared, so we say y squared. So what we do here is, now since there's a fraction here, we'll also put a fraction there. So by just saying over 1, then we can cross multiply there. Once we cross multiply, we have 5 times y squared. It gives us 5y squared is equal to, then what is 1 times this? 6 times 30 there. So we have 6 times 30, because anything multiplied by 1 is that thing itself. So what I do here is, now to get the value of y, I'll divide here by 5. I'll also divide here by 5. Without multiplying this, it becomes easy for me to work out my answers. 5 cancels 5, or in short they divide. Then 5 into 5, 1. 5 into 30, 6. So there now we have y squared is equal to 6 times 6, which means y squared is what? 36. So to get the value of y, I have to square here and square there. Don't forget to put a plus and minus here. So meaning that this root here will cancel that root, then will remain with y is equal to plus or minus, what is the square root of 36? It's that number that you can multiply by itself to give you 6 is what? 6. So meaning that our values of y are -6 and +6 there. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for watching. I believe you have picked something from this. I wish you all the best in your preparation for the exam. Please study and study hard. Time for resting is not now. Time for celebrating is not now. We'll celebrate when this all is done. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.